Hey everybody, it's Flyin Ryan here with a review of the WLtoys V636 Skylark. Though I don't really know what the Skylark name means because they've used this on other vehicles as well. I think the V252 Pro also said Skylark. Anyway, this is the V636, and I've got a lot to say about this, so it's maybe a little bit of a long review. But I have a feeling this is going to be a very, very popular model. For only $60, this thing is giving the Latrax Alias a run for its money. I think the Latrax Alias is like 150, so quite a bit of price difference. And this has, a bunch of accessories that you can attach to it, and flies very similar to the Alias. I think the Alias is maybe just a little bit more smooth in its 6-axis stabilization. But this thing flies great, and the flips on this are just ridiculous. If you saw my on the fly review, I mean, this thing flips so fast. Just a really great flyer. It has, the nice bright LED panels. If you saw my night flight video, you know that it's a, perfectly good night flyer. The whole arms light up. So really good at night, really good for orientation, just all around good flyer. Has these nice rubber landing tips, so it has a nice soft landing to it. Like I said, it's got accessories, so you've got a plug here. So all the existing V222 accessories, so you've got the little rescue basket, a fountain, the little rocket launcher, a bubble blower, and then a camera. And they actually have a 1080p camera that just came out, so I'm super excited about that. That's the first, built-in 1080p camera, so I have that on the way, so expect to see some videos. I don't know if I'll do like a dedicated review of it, but I will certainly be posting some flight video samples of that. So really excited to see the 1080p camera. I got the little rescue basket here, and I had a bunch of awesome plans about, like rescuing some like a little nano quad in here or something. But unfortunately, when I attached mine and plugged it in, it just immediately turned on spool, and it just kept spooling up until it tightened up, and I think the motor burned out or something, so it no longer works. So I don't really know what happened. I don't know if I plugged it in wrong, because you'll see the plug has, I think, 4 pins, and then this plug is only 2, so I don't know exactly which side you're supposed to plug it into. So maybe I did something wrong, or maybe it's slightly defective or whatever, but so I can't show you an actual example of using that, but it does work. You'll see, it's got these 2 clips on it that just plug into these little pins here. It just kind of slides in and clips into place. I did find that this one was a little bit taller than the clearance, so it actually kind of hit the ground a little bit. But yeah, anyway, so you've got a bunch of accessories you can use. Let's look at everything it comes with. So it has a spare set of props, and then it also comes with some prop guards. The prop guards are a little bit odd, though. They take 3 screws each, so you've got a whole little bag of tiny screws here, and each one has the 3 different holes that you've got to screw in there. So they're not easy to swap on and off really quickly. You've got to screw each one into 3 different places. But that's be what it looks like. However, I found that these just kill the flight performance. Specifically, just hovering, like it throws the accelerometer off. I think just from having all that extra mass out to the sides, it kind of is constantly correcting and overcorrecting, and it kind of gets doing this death wobble. I mean, that's just trying to hold a hover without me doing anything. It's sort of always moving around. However, if you're actually flying with them on, it does seem to fly decently, though it can get a little messy in a turn and trying to change directions. So the prop guards are fairly worthless. I wouldn't, if you're wanting to buy it simply because it has those options, I think you're going to be disappointed. But it's cool to have them, as an option anyway. Let's see. It comes with a 730 milliamp hour battery. It takes about an hour and 45 minutes to charge, but it comes with a wall charger, not a USB charger. It has, you know, the Asian style plug, so hopefully they send you an adapter for your country. You get about, let's see, 8 minutes and 15-second flights, and then with the prop guards on, you get about 7-minute flights, so the prop guards take quite a bit of flight time off. This is the transmitter. It actually uses the popular V2X2 protocol. However, since this one has a headless mode, which you turn on and off by pressing and holding this middle button here, or is it the bottom button? Yeah, it's the bottom button. The middle button is, yeah, middle button here on the right is to turn the LEDs on and off. Headless mode, you press and hold the bottom right button. I don't know if it'll let me do it without being bound. Yeah. So the entire time you're in headless mode, it beeps like that, which is pretty annoying. But I found that only works with the transmitter that comes with it. If you use like the V222 transmitter, which looks the same, except for I think it has a red bar up here instead of blue like this has, you can't turn on the headless mode. So if they do eventually offer a BNF version and you just have the V222 transmitter, just, you know, realize that you're not going to be able to use the headless mode. However, I have found the headless mode to be worthless. I have not gotten it to work at all. For those that don't know, headless mode basically, whichever way the front of the quad is facing when you turn it on, that way will always be forward on the right stick. So say, you know, I turn it on, okay, let's say I turn it on this way, so forward is away from me. Now when I turn the quad this way, forward still moves the quad that way. You turn again, forward still moves it. So forward always is that direction regardless of the orientation of the quad. However, it loses that orientation almost immediately. So, you know, while forward may be this way 1 second, maybe forward is now this way, now maybe forward is this way. So you never really know where it's going to be going at any time in headless mode. So it's really unreliable, and just, you know, I would not buy this for the headless mode. I have been talking to some people in RC groups about it, and this actually has a calibration procedure. Let me show you the manual here. So it talks about this X and Y axis calibration, but the English is really poorly translated, so I don't really know what it's trying to say. But apparently, you know, some other models that have headless mode, there's calibration procedures where you basically spin it around so it kind of gets its magnetic orientation, then you turn it this way and spin it, and that's supposed to give it its orientation, and you do that by you press and hold the 40% rate button here to do the X calibration, and then this button to do the Y calibration. And I've tried that and it has not helped at all. I still find the headless mode to be completely unreliable, so I don't really know what's going on there. But anyway, so yeah, it has the 40%, 60%, 80%, and 100% rates, and it's got the yaw changes with it. The yaw is a little bit slow, especially on the lower rates, but on 100% rates, it's a pretty manageable yaw. Good enough for, you know, fun flying outdoors. Let's see. There's a 30-second LVC warning, so you got a decent warning to get it back to you. The LEDs will blink, so you'll have a very visible warning when the battery's about to die. To recalibrate the accelerometer, you use the standard WLtoys method, where turn on flip mode, hold both sticks down to the left, and that'll that'll recalibrate the accelerometer. Oh, and there's no 3-axis mode, so no expert or manual stunt mode. So that's one thing that the Alias has that this doesn't have. So there's, you know, no way to do your own manual stunts with it. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned that the top left shoulder button here is your function button, so that's how you operate whatever accessory you have attached. And then the right button is your flip button. I think that is actually all I have to say about it. I think I finally covered everything. Let me look at my notes here. Yeah, that is it. So I'll go ahead and do an indoor flight. I'll show you with the prop guards attached so you can see what I'm talking about there. and then we'll go ahead and give it an outdoor flight. Alright, let's check it out. Alright, this is the indoor flight review of the WLtoys V636 with the prop guards on. Just to show you how crazy and squirrely it is with the prop guards. Go ahead and put in 100% rates. Alright, here we go. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, maybe let's try 40% and see. That was basically it doing all that. I was barely even given any input. It just gets in this like death wobble. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's completely out of control with the prop guards on. Looks like I had some trim going on with the... Okay, there we go. That's just doing the wobbling on its own. That's just the accelerometer getting weird from the prop guards. Oh my gosh. It's so wobbly. I mean, I'm just trying to keep it hovering. That is just it doing all that wobbling. You can see the prop guard just kind of vibrating all over the place. Or, well, I don't know if that'll show up on video or not, but they kind of vibrate around in the prop wash, and I think that gets the whole thing shaking and vibrating and just makes the accelerometer really confused. Oh my gosh. So if you're, constantly moving forward in one direction, it actually ends up, kind of smoothing out, but if you try to hover, it just is really, really wobbly. See if I can try to test them a little bit. They kind of work well. Whoa! Oh gosh. So it seems that they actually protect the props pretty well, but they just make the thing completely unstable. Just really, really wobbly. Alright, well, let me go ahead and take it down. I think that's a good enough sample. I don't want to end up breaking this one. I actually like it. I think that was a good taste of, how worthless the prop guards are, basically. I would not even take the time to put them on. I'm going to take them off, and that's the last they'll ever be on here. They just completely ruin the flight characteristics. Anyway, so that's the indoor flight. Let's go ahead and take it outside and throw it around and show off what it can really do. Alright, let's check it out. Alright, this is the outdoor flight review of the WLtoys V636, and a pleasant little surprise, the 1080p camera showed up in between the time when I filmed the tabletop review and the flight review. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a flight with the camera on, and we'll do some picture-in-picture with the camera footage, and if I think the video is worthy of it, I'll probably post a separate video of just the onboard camera footage full screen so you can get an idea what it looks like. A couple things to note about it. So it is mounted onto the bottom of the camera. It comes with a little cable that you can attach it to, and so when I turn the quad on, the camera powered up, and I can activate it by pressing the left shoulder button. It does have an angleable lens here. You can angle it down. However, when the camera is at the downward angle, it actually is below the landing gear. So if you were to land, you would land on the lens. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it pointing forward. And I think that's about all there is to say about it. And it feels pretty heavy, so we'll see how it affects the flight. So let's go ahead and turn on the camera. Let me double check that just to be sure. I'd hate to do the whole flight. Yep, it is recording. And let's go ahead and put it on 100% rates and give her a go. So yeah, definitely, I can definitely feel the weight of the camera in the quad. It feels a little heavier in the air, but still seems to be flying pretty well. Has the power for it. Not sure what to expect for flight times. And it is a little bit windy out today too, so a little extra stuff to battle with the extra weight and the wind. Still looks pretty nice and stable with it on. Let's try a flip. Still does pretty nice flips. Not bad. Yeah, the wind's throwing it around a bit now. I don't want to go too crazy with the flight because I'm more trying to film right now. If you want to see me kind of going crazy with the flight, you can watch my on the fly review, or I did some more aggressive flying. Figured since the camera came in, I'd use this opportunity to kind of show how it films or how it flies with the camera on and what the video footage looks like. Do a little something different for my full detailed review. Pretty nice though, it's flying well. Hopefully that camera footage looks good. I haven't even looked at it yet, so I don't know what to expect out of the quality of it. Let's try to get some height. I don't want to get too high up there because of the wind. I don't know what it's doing up high, but let's try to get up there to get some better camera footage. Yeah, the wind is definitely wanting to carry it away. Let's bring it back down a bit. Looks like it's descends really nice even with the extra camera weight. That was a pretty nice stable descend. That was impressive. Let's turn it around for a droney. A little bit twitchy on 100% rates trying to film. I'm not even sure if I caught myself in frame there or not. Alright, well, I don't want to draw it out too much. I think that was a good sample of how she flies, and we'll get some camera footage, see what that looks like, bring it in for a landing. And stop the camera. Alright, well there we go. That's the outdoor flight review of the WLtoys V636 with the 1080p camera attached. Pretty cool. I'm glad that came in just in time. Oh, and you can switch it to 720p. I don't know if that gives a higher frame rate or not. I haven't really gotten a chance to look into the camera much yet. But anyway, there's that. I hope you liked it, and thanks for watching. And check the video description for price and purchase links and all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you next time.